And we are recording with Mr. Yosef 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 Housekeeping Oltmann on Wednesday, October 2nd.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 at 3:12 p.m. Eastern time. It's almost comical how yesterday the temperature just plummeted and it seems like fall is finally here in New England, which is why I'm wearing my pillow, my bathrobe, available in the description, promo code TPC, and it is cozy as all hell. But what were you just saying before? Safe and secure? What is this?
Safe and secure. So it's Pydoxa Safe and Secure. So it's a product that we partnered with at Frank's Speech called Safe and Secure. So let me just tell you the concepts behind it. And I just sent you the link so you have it.
Yep.
Whoops.
We'll pull it up.
Um, the idea is this. Every year, $10 billion is stolen from Americans. 10 billion. And the average American spends about $130 a month on car insurance, right? Well, your car, the average price of a car is, I don't know what's wrong with my lips, Apollo, but they're not matching my
Yeah,
speech.
they are for me.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you have your retirements, so you have all these scammers and they call you up and they say that, we're with Microsoft or we're with, Norton Antivirus, hit this button. And it's all a scam. And the three biggest countries are Nigeria, India, and um, Indonesia. Like those are the biggest scam centers where they basically have entire people. Like, your only job is to come here and
Yeah.
scam Americans out of money. Well, I had a friend of mine who and businesses, by the way, have these provisions put in place. They have software that's put in place for businesses. You have EDR, MDR, you have password protection, you have all this stuff. And then you have the ability that if something happens, you just call into that. So we have a cybersecurity company. This is what we do on the business side. But a friend of mine, his father-in-law was hit for $18,000
Oh,
in credit card debt. Now the credit card company said we're not going to cover it. You knowingly gave up your credit card information, and so we're not going to cover it. You're responsible for the $18,000, right? He had no protection, right? So I took that situation, and it was a ransomware attack where they basically connected into his computer. They got access and remote access into his computer. Once they got into his computer, they were able to change all sorts of settings and then lock him out. So I went and said, how do we work this problem? How do we stop Americans? How do we stop the $10 billion? And by the way, in 2023, it was 13.3 billion. Well, let's use round numbers. 10 billion stolen. There's this thing called man in the middle where they can get in, take control of your email addresses. And so we literally built a system that does not allow for any of that to happen. Now, let's say you get a spam phone call that says, "Hi, my name is Deep Deep, and I am from Microsoft, and you have a problem, and your warranty is expired," right? Or one of the other 1,000 different things like Nigerian kings and things like that.
yeah.
So we built a system that says first is defense. We play defense against it. We stop anyone from getting access to your computer. The second thing that we do is we password protect it and we make sure that we handle all of the things related to your passwords. So in other words, we make sure that you have full security. So if you have passwords, it goes into the system, it's tied right into your browser. Nobody can get access to it. It's nearly impossible. It actually is nearly impossible to hack. And then the last part of that is how do we have remote access and things that we can do to make sure we can secure you, make sure you're up to date, antivirus, all that stuff. So it's all built into this one package. And it's $49.88 a seat. So super cheap. And you would say $50. Oh my gosh. Okay. You spend $150 on a car, right?
Hmm.
But you don't protect your most valuable assets. And so we put it out there. We tested it. We have a third line of defense on this, and that is you can literally pick up the phone and call us. Hey, I got this phone call. Is it real? Give us the phone number. We'll call you back. We go in, we make the phone calls, we validate it, we call you back and say, nope, that's a spam call. Block the number. Move on.
Hmm.
And then we send you emails every 3 times a week that are like, okay, here's the scam of the day. Here's a new scam that they put out so that we're keeping people informed on the type of scams that are being run on them. So, in the test that we did with a large number of people, we had over 600 attempts,
Good Lord.
emails. I mean, they at first people send you everything, right? Then they just get smart enough to know, wrong. So it started out really high, and then it just, and now they're just monitoring it. And then we've had about 4 threats that we've had to block from getting into the computer. That's how prevalent and that's how pervasive this theft, hacking, infiltration is in our country.
10 billion
The,
a year.
yeah. So, but the voting machines are good because
Hey, those are fine. And
yeah, they're not connected by
if
the
you
internet.
question that, you hate democracy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stand. I'm gonna push back on this one, Joe. If you question Dominion voting machines, I think you hate America.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what, right? Yeah.
Okay. I hate America. That's not
Yeah.
true, but hey.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's
Okay. So I have a commercial that I think that, I mean, if you could plug it, it'd be really great.
yeah.
It's the safe and secure deal. I don't know. I think we sent you the testimonial. It's just a couple minutes long,
Yeah. I gotta pull up on my email. Hold on. Let me.
but I don't, the biggest thing that people feel
I'm
is
pulling
that
up.
they feel embarrassed. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to tell anyone what just happened to me.
Yeah.
So I'll just eat the 18,000.
Yeah.
Now, as we start growing the cadence on how we deploy products in this environment for people,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to hire a lawyer and we're going to make sure that we can get involved in getting, because we do the same thing on the business side. Like we've helped businesses get back hundreds of thousands of dollars that they have been
Mm-hmm.
stolen from their account.
You want
So
me to? Sorry. You want me to play it?
yeah,
All right. Read stream. Start streaming. Crap. Where'd it go? Come on.
and
What
then
do you?
we can get into the fun stuff about
You know,
the
World War III. All that cozy stuff.
there's a lot of stuff happening right now.
Yeah. Come on. Hit play. Oh my goodness. Hit play. Please hit play. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Do I just not
Right?
have it's not you. I have my email open right now. What
Did you just get hacked?
if I did, I'll kill you myself.
Wouldn't that be funny if I sent you a video
That would
and
be
then just
incredible. That
showed
would
you
be
how easy it
incredible
was,
if you did
and
it
then
and then just
yeah,
like showed me on the toilet or something.
I probably wouldn't do that.
That would be great if you did. I respect. Okay, hold on. I got it. Okay, hold on. Play.
Steal $10 billion per year. Every day, millions of people fall victim to online
Do
threats.
people see it or just hear it?
3 million
They
spam
can say
calls are made per day in America, with over 50% of daily emails being considered spam. And that's not all. On average, over 40% of devices are vulnerable to hackers, and each person in America has 10 passwords stolen per year. Can you imagine having unrecoverable credit card debt? Your savings drained to zero, your home foreclosed on, your identity stolen and ruined, your entire life, poof, gone. Introducing Safe and Secure. With the advanced programs, you'll be able to stay in control and keep hackers out. Don't let the cyber criminals win. Safe and Secure. Shield against hackers and embrace peace of mind. Visit pedoxasafeandsecure.com for more information and to learn how to keep yourself protected.
wunderbar.
Hey, so just so you know, there's no video feed on Rumble.
It's delayed. So when I pulled up my email, I stopped
Yeah.
streaming so that I wouldn't stream out my email login. So I stopped and re-got it. Nice try, Joe. You tried to get me
Okay.
with the phishing
Uh,
on the email. You just tried to get me to
yeah.
stream my. I'm see right through you. I know what you're up to.
Well, it shows right now just a little Rumble symbol.
It'll because I had paused
Okay.
streaming, so it'll reboot. Don't worry.
All right.
I mean,
So the biggest part about this though is that we don't want our we don't want our moms and dads and brothers and sisters and people to get taken for money. And the most obscene one that I heard about literally in this test case was a woman who was sending her mortgage that they went in and changed the where the mortgage payments go. And the mortgage payments were literally for like 6, 8 months going to a separate account. All of a sudden she gets a foreclosure notice, doesn't have the money to pay it. And they had been stealing the money for 6 or 7 months. And then she's out. You know what I mean? It's a lot.
Yeah. No, I got it. Yeah, so I checked Rumble. I'll have to just re-upload the thing then, so it's edited in, so it's not all choppy and paused and going again, but it's fine. Um, yeah, I don't know. It is you have that like primary thing. It's like take care of your credit cards, and then like a day prior, it's like Iran's unleashing the wrath of Satan on Israel.
Yeah.
Where's some like I was talking to my mom because I had texted our like family group chat. No, one of my cousins did, and they're like, "What do you think about the Iran attack?" And I call my mom every day, and mom was like, what was that?" And I realized as I was saying it, I was like, I'm 34, and I've seen a variation of this headline more times than I can remember.
Right.
That's what it is, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean I don't feel for people who lost. Sure, it all sucks. It all sucks, but man, like, it's you are your brother's keeper, but at the same time. Let's be very honest. I can't care. I can't care because if things are so screwed here, I can't care. I just really can't. How many nations are sending aid to the hurricane victims in the U.S. right now? Ever?
Right.
Ever? What about I don't know, migrant crime? What about southern? How many nations have said we need a coalition to stop fentanyl flowing into the United States? And the answer is none, and it should be none because that's our problems. And that's also how we should look at the rest of them. I understand it's a big geopolitical chessboard, but every time that explanation is used and every time it's about containment, it always ends up somehow or another with tens of thousands of Americans dead, us trillions in debt, our freedoms being eroded, the military industrial intelligence complex getting even stronger stranglehold on the United States, and the world is never better off. I guess
Yeah.
uh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Iran hit Israel. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel for you.
Well, but let's look at the geopolitical reasons why they hit Israel.
Sure.
President Trump made sure that Iran was absolutely broke. Biden comes in, starts handing them hundreds of billions of dollars, not earmarked for aid or to pay for certain um, things that they needed, such as humanitarian aid. It was just here's pallets of billions of dollars. Do with it with what you want. So they did. They went out and purchased weapons and then used those weapons to attack Israel. Now, on one side, we have people in Israel that are saying, respect our sovereignty. You have to support us. You have neocons in the United States that are saying, support Israel at all costs. Here's the problem. The leadership in Israel is rotted to the absolute 100% core, rotted to the core. Like there's no redemption for many of the people in leadership. And I'm going to use this as an example. Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab is from Israel. Okay. Actually from Austria, and he's in Israel. So his family dates back to Nazis. That's why this whole thing is so confusing. It's because we want to support the people of Israel, but that's not what the fighting is. See, the fighting is being done by the people of Israel as pawns for people like Yuval Noah Harari,
Mm-hmm.
this stick figure, World Economic Forum guy that calls for the new world order. Now we sit on the sidelines watching this war unfold. We're in a war right now. Make no mistake about it. We are absolutely at war right now. The United States people are under attack by feckless cowards who are using the system, the judiciary, and other parts in lawfare in order to attack and keep people dazed and confused. And then the amount of people that you have that are part of the Con Inc. kind of chaos brigade, Javon Pulitzer being probably one of the biggest, this piece of trash, are the ones that are actually running around talking about things that it's nonsense. Like it's as big as nonsense and as ridiculous as that there's more than two genders. That's how absurd that we've gotten in our country. And so while you're in the middle of all that, you have people over Israel that are suffering because the people that are in leadership in Israel want them to suffer. They want to create useful idiots in order to draw people into a war that inevitably will lead to the billions of people dying. And make no mistake, you have people like Bill Gates and elitists that treat us like pawns, slaves, and serfs.
Cattle.
And frankly, we're free men. And we should be acting like free men, but we're not. Because the cops show up and like, get over there. I don't have to go get over anywhere. Free men do not have to take orders from anyone. They do not have to capitulate to evil. They do not have to watch a judiciary fillet other Americans and use the law with impunity to do whatever they want and ignore whatever laws they want. And if you don't like it, take us to court. And by the time they figure it out, they've already gotten their pound of flesh. That's not free men, Tommy. That's slaves. And that is the definition of slavery. And in our country, we have gotten to a place where there is no difference between slavery of the 1600s and 1500s and slavery today. Only they ran around saying that black people are still in bondage and should get reparations, while they literally tell the rest of the American people that the only people we will cater to are foreigners in foreign wars coming across the border as they rape and murder women and children and traffic them, not just around this country, but around the world. And when they're done trafficking them, they just turn them into corpses and then they traffic their organs. That's the reality of what's happening in this country. And we sit back and want to have decorum. I got to tell you something. Fuck decorum. And I'm not anybody's slave. And now I'm to the point where I'm just tired. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of mediocrity. I'm sick and tired of being told that I have to sit down. I'm sick and tired of the censorship. And I'm sick and tired of the wars that get created by these fucking monsters that say that they're our leaders while they smile on TV and do what we got last night in the Waltz Vance deal. And Vance wiped his ass all over the stage, by the way. Sorry. I will stop cussing now. I apologize.
No, you do whatever the fuck you want, sir.
I don't want to cuss. I
I know,
really don't.
but
I don't
it's
want
okay.
to invite that spirit into me. I got to that point where I'm so tired of having to explain what should not have to be explained and debating what should not have to be debated and defending and begging for them to use a law that we already know exists to protect you while they basically say to, go sit over there. We could do whatever we want with you. Serf, slave. I'm just nobody's slave. I'm out.
I think and again, as a 34-year-old in my limited life experience, you do have to harden yourself and you do have to harden your heart. It doesn't mean be a bad person. It doesn't mean give in to evil and might makes right. And because you go down that path and then next thing you know, you're in the Illuminati, like, sacrificing babies. That's not the way to go. But it is okay it's one thing to say, what do I care about, the China-India border clash 3 years ago? Yeah, I don't care about that. And everyone kind of agrees, yeah, whatever the fuck that is. And then they can look at something like Ukraine or Israel and they go, well, they're our allies and this is containment. And at a certain point, you have to realize that the calls for gun control don't come from just a debate about, muzzle velocity. They're going to prey on your most tender instinct, and they're going to put the faces of children who were killed by school shooters, I'm sure a percentage of which are absolutely assets. But nonetheless, they're going to play on that. They're not going to come to you and just say, take the guns. They're going to hold up the child because these people are demons from hell. The same reason that they don't show you where I used to park when I went to UGA, the IM fields, the intramural fields, because that was the cheapest parking deck. A student was raped and killed earlier this year by an illegal immigrant. They're not going to show you that. They're going to show you the barefoot pregnant mother coming across the border. And you should feel for that because you're a human, you're a Christian, you're whatever. You have to realize, though, that they're never going to present something that you feel good about rejecting. They're never going to show you, the alcoholic, child molesting, illegal immigrant. They're never going to show you the money being grifted by the Ukrainian top brass to buy villas in Morocco. They're never going to show you that. They're going to show you the most heart-wrenching things because they know you're a good person. These people are not good people though, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But what you have to realize is that if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. So you have to, in the same way I go, I don't care what happens at 10,000 feet above sea level between India and China. They're hitting each other with baton. I don't give a fuck. You also then have to say, hey, Israel, sorry. You guys are in a tough spot. God bless. Sorry. Ukraine, sorry. Europe, you're right there. Take care of it. If you can't take care of it, we'll come in, sure. But no, none. Take care of us. There's nothing wrong with looking after your own. It's actually the exact opposite. It's so much easier to say we must defend someone somewhere else. No, you have to defend your own because if you can't, it's the whole. What do they say on the airplane? Put your mask on before you help others. Because if you're all trying to help each other, everyone's dead. All it takes is one person with a mask on, breathing to get the person next to him. Two becomes 4, 8, 16, 30, and very quickly you can revive the whole plane. They're never going to show you the grift and go, you know what, maybe we shouldn't support them. The only evidence you're ever going to have is decades in hindsight. Korea,
Right. No question.
Vietnam, Desert Storm, War on Terror.
And the
It's
more we
never
learn
going
about it,
to. Well, my
the
point
more,
is what you have
yeah.
to realize is that that's the only thing you're going to. Well, then how are we going to know? You're not going to know until the Ukrainian war is 30 years in the rearview mirror. It's never going to be an appetizing thing. You're going to have to be the bad guy and say, I'm sorry, Israel. I'm sorry, people in Gaza. I truly am. I legitimately am. No one should lose anyone. There are 22 soldiers a day blowing their brains out, and there are 100,000 people my age dying from fentanyl every year. Hey, uh, when it's better here, sure, but it's not better here. It's utterly fucked here. So that's kind of where I am is I'm sorry. God bless. May the loving God look after you. And I hope you take care of your own, and I hope we do too. No, why are we sending aircraft carrier strike groups there? Well, why? Like, why? Be very, if they came out and said, we're doing this because Ukraine's got a bunch of lithium and we're going to extract it for $10 trillion and then that's going to boom a new golden age in the United States, I'd say that's a pretty good business deal. Sure. I'll be a mercenary, right. Sure, but they're not.
Yeah, in essence, that's where we're at, right? I mean, that's literally where we're at. We know that there's an ulterior motive to it, but we do have to work the problem, and I think that people want to hear how do we work the problem? How do we get together and do things? And you have, this is the part that bothers me the most, and you're gonna go, wait, what? We took Frank's speech public. It was a monumental thing to take Frank's speech public, right? Right? Would you say that's yeah? Okay.
Correct. So, I was up at my parents' house when I had that Zoom meeting. I sat on an old chair that was like my dad's great grandmother's. It's old wicker chair from like 1904, and I was sitting there on the Zoom meeting, and I leaned back. It snapped in half, and both the things stabbed into my back. I still have scabs from it, so it was a big deal.
So, but I mean, it's a big deal. But I start making phone calls to people, and I'm like, hey, look, we just took this public. And everyone went dark on me. Everyone on our side went dark. And the throttling that happened on Rumble started immediately. Can't find Frank's speech. People are like, Joe, I go to Rumble and I look for Frank's speech. Can't find it. How is that? And you have people like that, they'll put the shows up on categories and picks, but anything, but we can't support Frank's speech. And then I start calling some other guys that have this alternate path, right? So this alternate economy that I thought were my friends. And then I find out that they're pissed off because we're competing against Truth and Rumble and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Like, Frank's speech has been around for 3 years. It was the first one out the gate. And all of a sudden, we become the pariah because we're not a part of their little group. And Tommy, that's the problem. Is the problem is we have to get to a place where we stop the same fraternity they're building on the radical left is the same fraternity they're trying to build on the right.
That same thing will be corrupted.
I mean, it's unbelievable. You have the same weak ideas that you can't actually have conversations and build technology and race to the no competition, just fear. Just fear that they might do better than we do. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you can't work the problem in the country because everybody out there is like picking sides on Con Inc. side, right? And you gotta hustle ballots, and you can't outvote the machines. You got these village idiots on our side telling us to run out there and register more people to vote. That's how we're gonna win. How in the world do you do that and walk past all the evidence we have on the election machines being absolute bunk? Or how about the post office being involved in the fraud? Because they can just ship ballots anywhere you want. Nobody would know. Man, it is, we have to work the problem. 1,000% work the problem. But Tommy, we're not working the problem when you're seeing a war over there. We'll send money there. We'll send money to Ukraine. But you have 600 people missing in our own country. 600 in a natural disaster that literally is seeing people without water, power. You have dams that broke. And now there's reports that came out that said that, the dam broke, but there's signs that it was sabotaged. Did you hear that?
I did not. I heard that all the truckers trying to bring relief there had their tires slashed.
Yeah. This is in our country. We're under attack. We're being told that, hey, do me a favor, sit down. We got this handled. National Guard can't even get to their equipment. And on the same day, we have bodies flowing down the river in our own country. These pieces of trash are sending Ukraine $8 billion. Are you serious? We can't even take care of our own people. But you know what? Just sit down for a minute, Tommy, because, the adults in the room have it handled. They got it. They'll fix it. Do you see how retarded this is? I mean, come on. This is just absolute. These are not serious people. These are not serious people. And our brothers and sisters are suffering in a natural disaster, and people don't even believe the natural disaster is natural. They believe that people are actually screwing with the weather and causing it to happen. That's how much trust we have in our system. But you just want to sit down and you're not under attack. Tommy, we're not at war. We're not at war. Just listen to those people in charge when they get on TV and say that abortion is the largest issue facing the American people. Killing babies is the number one thing that we should be worrying about in this country, not inflation, not the economy, and somewhere along the line with with the Kennedys, with Bobby coming over to our side and creating a unified environment, somewhere along the line, Kamala's up in the polls. Do you believe that? Yeah, because it's not true. It's a lie. It's a flat out flagrant lie. But don't worry. Rumble's got you handled because they don't want competition either. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed that we could be so foolish as to think that people actually give a shit about us. And the people that are listening are probably like, whoa. Do you regret bringing me on again?
No. Not at all. It's I'm going to continue to do what I've done in the short life of this podcast. It's now, I mean, Rumble's like 100 times bigger than it was even just a couple of years ago. But you still see giant shows on YouTube that, we can't, we're staying on YouTube so we have a bigger audience and, we get this much revenue. We're not going to get banned and go to Rumble because that's virtue signaling. No, it's not. When enough people get banned from YouTube, you then create the fertile ground of demand for a new platform. But if everyone's hanging out at YouTube going, well, I don't want to get banned. Well, I don't want to get banned. Versus when people start growing some balls and getting banned, then you create the demand, and then people with money go, well, let's start another platform.
Yeah.
In that same sense, now people come over because what's the quote? It costs nothing to be the second Patriot. Now people come over because Rumble's doling out big dollars to people. They're signing people. It's much bigger. It's much less taboo. But the reality is, and I've said this about Rumble from the beginning, it's I'm like Rumble's free speech. I'm like, until one day they're not, because they won't be. One day, decades from now, they won't. One day, decades from now, somebody will own Frank's speech, and that will be corrupted.
No,
Nothing we
well,
can make. Okay, but my point is, nothing
I
we can make is uncorruptible. The only thing you can do is follow the true north of what you know is right. Pray to God, get silent in your mind, and what do you know is right? Not what Joe Oltmann wants, not what Rumble wants, not what YouTube wants, not what the big channels are doing. What do you know is right? I know that it is right to not put my eggs in one basket. I know it is right to speak the truth. I know it is right to take care of my own before I take care of others. Fuck everything else. Keep going forward. And people don't want to do that. They want to wait till it's okay. That free speech is back on X. No, shut up. Get banned from X. Shut up. And that's where I come down to is just keep following true north. Follow your heart. Follow your soul. And what if they kill you for it? Then good. Fuck this damned world. That's what was meant for me. That's my
yeah.
sorry.
You know, we keep having the same conversation over and over again, and we expect that the results are going to change or somewhere along the line because we've actually divulged, we've uncovered it that there's going to be accountability. Well, Tommy, was there accountability when Hillary Clinton wiped servers and hid information when she was subpoenaed?
No.
Was there accountability for Joe Biden when he bribed people in Ukraine and was under investigation in Ukraine? How about when there were weapons of mass destruction and we went over and killed over 500,000 women and children in Iraq? Was there any consequences there? You want me to keep going?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about COVID? The fact that they killed millions of Americans in the year and said that the only thing you could do was take a vaccine, even though you had prophylactics like ivermectin. And then you had Pfizer that went out and created a prophylactic that is called Pfizer Mectin and started selling it for nearly $10 a pill. And then saying that you can take this on top of going and getting boosters. And then when they quietly were able to just take vaccines and take them off the market, but not have to face any consequences. Or how about when VAERS reporting basically corrupted all the data and pulled it down so people couldn't see just how many people were being adversely affected or dying because they got the jab? Or should we talk about the fact that fentanyl is coming over the border and killing young people at a rate of 4 times any other death cause in the entire nation, 18 to 25? I mean, can we keep talking about, like, I can go on and on and on and on. You want to know why X canceled me twice? You want to know why every social platform throttles me? You want to know why Rumble literally does what they do and makes sure that nobody can find the content or makes it difficult by obstructing the messaging that goes put on there? I'll tell you why. Because the truth is something that when people get enough of it and they finally have had enough, they're going to go, let's do something about it. And now we're in a war over in Israel, and we look at what's happening, and you look at this, the lies that come out of people like Walz's mouth and Kamala Harris's mouth, and the consequences of the last 3.5 years while they smile and saying, we're not going back. No, because we're headed literally to the depths of hell, and they want to take us into the depths of hell. They don't want to take us into prosperity. So going back means that we will have to respect human life. We'll have to, create standards by which you just can't kill babies at 9 months old. We'll have to do things like make sure we take care of our own and stop manipulation of weather and stop this idea that the media can lie to us with impunity and that there are no consequences. We have to reverse the Smith-Mundt Revitalization Act of 2012 that put in place the ability for the government to lie to its own people. Mm-hmm. And we got to grow some balls, frankly. And we got to get together. We got to go hang out in a couple pubs. And when they come in and say, hey, we're taking one of us, we're like, no, you're not taking Tommy today. Oh, we'll come back with more reinforcements. Well, I'm glad you said that because we got another 100 people that are on their way down here too. So you might want to bring a little small army. They bring 100, we bring 200. They bring 300, we bring 500. I mean, the idea that we live in a country where you're a slave is just, it's foreign to me. But if you shut up, keep your mouth shut, and just walk in the line, maybe they'll let you keep what you have. Maybe. You weren't prepared for that, were you?
No, I am. I think we talked about it last time. The linchpin of
Yeah.
all of it, the foundational, the keystone of all of it, is you have to have faith in God. Because
Yeah.
what that comes down to is God will deliver me through all of these trials. And if not, and if I die in the process or I'm killed in the process, then that was the purpose. You're
Yeah.
not being abandoned. You're not forgotten. You went for a reason. And if you come to peace with that, yeah, okay. If you don't have that, you're going, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at percentages. I don't think we can take on the Defense Department. Sure. But if you go, I know what I'm doing is right. And if it ends, it ends. Hey, it ends anyway. Spoiler alert. It ends anyway. I just started a book today on like it's like world history from the dawn of time, and through all of it, you see even the old pharaohs talking to their sons, and they're like, "Hey, stop trying to escape death. It's coming, and enjoy what you have and do the right thing." It ends anyway. In the grand scheme of it all, what? So I live a long life, live to 80. Well, what? I'm pop now at 34 for doing a podcast. It in 100 and if and in 81 years, I'm gone regardless. So whether or not I live for 40 or 80, to me is irrelevant. I'd like to live a long life. I'd like to have a family. I'd like to live a long, joyous life. But I'm also okay with I'm not gonna just go along. I don't want to live in that world. I legitimately don't. And I'm not gonna kill myself. But I don't want to live in that world. I don't. If that's the thing, if the thing is the state takes your kids because you didn't chop their dick off and give them estrogen at 3 months old. Like, dude, I don't want to live here. Like, I don't want to survive the Titanic if I know it meant that I took a seat that was meant for women and children. If all the
Right.
women and children are off, yeah, sure, dibs on the last seat. I don't. That's not something. That's not something worth it. I mean, it's just not. It's really not. It's horrifying, but I don't want to live in that. Like I don't. It's not some like noble like look at me. I don't erase the podcast. I don't care. I can't do that. I cannot do. I don't want to do that.
All right. So what do we do about what I just talked about? I mean, what do we do? What do we do about? I mean, that's a lot of problems to swallow in one bunch, right? I mean, if you try to eat all those apples, you're going to die. So how do we get past the symptoms and get to the problem? And now I'm gonna give you what the problem is. Ready?
Sure.
The judiciary, the slave court. That's what the problem is. 1,000% of our problems trace back to there. They allow people like Hillary Clinton to get away with murder and to do really bad things to people and wipe servers with no accountability. It allows for the DOJ to weaponize its systems against the American people and throw them in prisons that are run by foreigners. They get to rape and beat them and do really bad things to those January 6ers and others. They allow to enslave people inside of the inner city and run this school to prison pipeline that allows for poor people to stay in a perpetual place of poverty. It allows for people that are elite to get access to better food, better education, better health care, while telling us that we have to spend on the average of 29% of every paycheck in order to get health care in this nation. And then tell us somewhere that it's the Affordable Care Act. They get to raise inflation and do whatever they want because there is no opportunity for you to hold people accountable because they have absolute immunity. Judges can't be held accountable. You're not even allowed to call a judge what the judge is because they can just say contempt of court and take away your rights and strip you of your dignity and throw you in jail. They can allow people to weaponize themselves against you. And then if you don't listen because they're not a part of it, you're not a part of their little, what do you want to call it, fraternity, that they can do whatever they want to you because they have their hooks in you and says, well, slave, you have to do exactly what I say because I'm a judge, slave. And they get to claw into you. And so then we have people that file lawsuits, and those same judiciaries get to betray the American people and say, you don't have standing. They get to allow big pharma to go out and kill millions of Americans and then say, well, they have immunity because the court system upheld the idea that Congress could give away the rights of Americans and hand them to the feet of those that are making money off the hard work of the American people. That is, in essence, what we have. We have a rotted judiciary, and we don't have enough good judges, and we don't have a system that is designed to protect the American people. It's designed to steal from the American people and demoralize the American people and threaten with fear the American people, but it's not designed to help the American people. No, that is reserved for people that are not Americans that can come across those borders and rape our children and our women and do terrible things in our communities and murder people. And then we just let them out on bail the next day while we lock up people like Tina Peters, who has to go to court tomorrow. That judge and these judges are absolutely the most rotted thing about our entire nation. There you go. And I just spelled out why very succinctly.
I don't have an answer. I don't know what the answer is to work the problem.
You're not going to like my answer.
What?
Tear it down.
Well, yeah.
No, you don't understand what I just said. Tear it down. See, listen, right is right and wrong is wrong. Period. It's biblical. I don't need 50 textbooks and thou shalt you do this under penalty of this to the British accreditation registry that we got to follow these procedures where truth doesn't get to come out because you only get to look at one brick. It's all garbage. It's all a con on the American people. It's all garbage. There's no part of what they're saying that is truthful. They're not truthful at all. There's no truth in how the judiciary or the legal system has been created because it's not created for the people. No matter what, Tommy, they get their pound of flesh up front. And you have to fight to get out of their pound of flesh. You have to beg them. I'm going to beg you, please find me that I am actually a journalist when you've been acting as a journalist for years. And they can do unprecedented things to Americans without so much as any sort of drive to the actual law that states that they have that authority because they're the judge. So they can do whatever they want. That's how disgusting it is. You have to tear it down. They all have to go. And did you know, by the way, that judges are what are called protected entities? And so they get to hurt all these people, and then their addresses are wiped from the system. So nobody even knows who they are. Was my address wiped from anything when Antifa came to my house? You want me to read something to you?
Sure.
This is a threat that I had this random deal. I try to get back into a email box that I had for one of my email boxes because I was told I needed to go look in and try to find all these email boxes. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. No problem. I'll go look and see if I can get in. It's part of this deposition that I took and said, hey, can you go check something? I said, no problem. I'll do it. So I go in here. I finally get in and found out it won't let me go back in time because I didn't house or secure those emails. Let me read this to you. You should like this. You're an F-tard, goat effing, domestic terrorist. You treasonous ass needs to be put to death just like the Constitution says. Your aunt, mom, and your cousin, dad needs slapped in the face for raising such a piece of crap. I can't wait for you to be dead. I'm going to take a big steaming Trump on your grave. May our paths cross someday, you worthless maggot. You know how many times I get those?
A lot.
Yeah. By radical leftists that go out of the way to try to figure out a way how they can send me a
Yeah.
Nice love letter. Coming to my house with guns. The only reason that they haven't of late is because I will literally shoot them before I won't even think twice. But do judges have to go through the same scrutiny for all the lives that they ruin?
Hmm.
Does the FBI? Does the CIA for going over to different countries and ruining those countries? No. They can operate with absolute impunity of evil. And we keep saying there was nothing we can do about it, but there is a lot we can do about it. We can create density and get 3, 5, 7, 800, 900, 1,000 people to go over and say, get out. You're not our judges anymore. We'll have new judges. We'll elect new judges with paper ballots in person. We'll make sure the voter rolls are all American. It would not take much at all. It would take 1,000 people in each community. And when Antifa shows up, you just kick their teeth in. It's really simple. I mean, just kick their teeth in. They're all feds anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, just so you know, I had somebody call me and said they were talking to someone with the national intelligence and said, "Do you know why that Antifa was not listed as a terrorist organization, domestic terrorist organization, DTO? You know why?
Of course they are.
Because they are Antifa.
Yeah.
The feds are Antifa.
Yeah.
They literally are Antifa.
Yeah, I don't think anyone denies that. Some people do. They're retarded, but
So you can't actually designate yourself as a terrorist organization because it will come out that they're terrorists." He also told me this. He said, "Joe, the Pentagon is actually running the election. They get to decide who actually wins the elections at every level."
Yeah.
So you have the Pentagon over here with this little group of people that are doing the biddings of radical leftists that have been completely infiltrated and rotted to the very core. And they get to basically act with impunity and do whatever they want to us. And we just have to sit down, slave. And the only thing that can save us is the fact that we have God on our side. But because we have God on our side, they're going to create as much damage and havoc and absolute destruction as they possibly can. You good?
Yeah.
You don't look good. You look like I've just like taken away your lunch money.
oh, dude, I do these every day. I've built such a tolerance to these. No, you can't. No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course the Pentagon runs it. There's probably AI running the planet. There's drone striking other systems. There's probably technology beyond what we can comprehend in orbit, probably containing us to this planet. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm listen. It's completely and utterly fucked. I, I just you then ask yourself, it's like going to the gym. January 1st, new year, new me. Or, it's a bright sunny day and you're all jacked up, slept well, have a cup of coffee, you're like, let's go get it. That's all well and good. I've been working out for about 22 years, pretty much daily. And what really matters is the things you do when you didn't sleep enough, or you're depressed, or you don't feel well, or you're sick, or whatever. Just got dumped, or your dog died, or whatever. And that's where you focus in and I'm just gonna go do it. It's gonna suck. You don't lie to yourself and go, let's go get pumped up. No, there's no pumped up. I feel like shit. My sinuses are full. I'm just gonna go do it. You don't even try to lie to yourself and say it's gonna get better. You go, I know this is the suck, but I'm gonna go do the suck.
Embrace the suck.
Precisely. So, beautiful sunny day, everything's working out. God is good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. When it's all at the bottom, you then ask yourself, is God good? And if the answer is yes, and it is yes, then you know that God will guide you where you need to go and do what you need. He didn't abandon you. This isn't Benghazi. He didn't turn down, support. You are where you need to be. And it's very easy to pray. It's very easy to say God's good when you're fucking holding the Super Bowl trophy and you just got signed for $100 million. Hey, God is good. Exactly. That is also God is good. but it's when you're at the bottom. Is God still good? Do you still pray? We've both lost siblings. Do
Yeah.
you still pray the next day? Yes, you do. Yeah, I would say maybe even pray a little bit harder. And that's kind of where I am. So on one level, on this human level, these three, four-dimensional world we find ourselves in with matter and energy and gravity and physics. And yeah, I mean, is it fucked? Absolutely. Is it rotted to the core? Beyond comprehension. It's almost comical. Well, then why am I here? Oh, God left me. He forgot to pick me up from soccer practice. Or are you here for a reason? And that's why I guess I kind of have built a bit of a tolerance to these talks, is they don't pull me down and, oh, it's all fucked. It's fucked. Why am I here? You don't sit in organic chemistry and go, it's so fucked. You go, they call it the weed out class for med school. Yeah.
For a reason.
Okay. We're here to go through well, most people are failing. That's why it's a weed out class. Okay. I'm going to find a way through. So that's why when you like, I just took your lunch. No, I get it. It is beyond fucked. We're not here by accident. God didn't drop us off at the wrong soccer practice. This isn't Home Alone. Where's Kevin? No,
Yeah.
no. You are here with as much planning, intent, and love as when you're 5 years old and your parents are in the pool and they're going, jump to us, jump. We're not going to let you drown. Jump to us. You're crying, and finally you jump it. That's where we are. And when we look at the kid, we go, yeah, of course you're not going to drown. Why are you crying? And then we turn and we do this podcast. We go, it's so fucked. Why are you crying? It's not going to let you drown. That's kind of where I am with it. So I don't know. That's where I found peace. I found my rock, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, it is the things that we have to remember is, and this is the hard part. Once you realize what the Jenga puzzle piece you have to pull in order to fix everything, now it's like, okay, how do I pull that piece?
Hmm.
We know the judiciary is a problem. Why? Well, let's go to Exxon Valdez. By the way, somebody said to me one time, they're like, Joe, the way your mind works. And I'm like, yep. Like the last 3.5 years have been somewhat of a blur. Okay. And what happens to me personally. And the reason being is because you have cortisol that goes through your body and you're,
Adrenaline,
you're kind of looking at things and everything looks like a nail and you're the hammer. And they attack your family, they attack your wife, attack your kids, they do all this bad stuff to people that are your friends. And so you're trying to figure it all out, right? You're like, okay, we got to figure this deal out. How are we going to figure this out? And so in the moment, you miss details. But in life, when you start reading and researching things, you don't miss any details. Right? So I used to love reading about cases, like going back and I would look at cases and I would go, okay, let's look at the theory of the Exxon Valdez spill up in Alaska. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean you're too young to really remember it. But
the book Private Empire by Steve Call, it opens with that scenario.
okay, so it killed a bunch of wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
It was a ecological disaster.
Yeah, he's swimming back
Ab- yeah, I mean it was terrible. Right? It was terrible. And I remember the Dawn. That's when they really just discovered that Dawn dish soap was actually awesome. Because you could clean a bird, right? With Dawn dish soap. It took all the grease, the oil off it. Do you know how long that case was in the court system?
No.
Nearly everyone that was a plaintiff in that case died before it was actually adjudicated.
Wow.
Every single one of them. They just died. Generationally. Generationally, people died while being stripped of all their dignity, their land taken, their livelihoods. All of that happened. And what happened to Exxon Valdez? What happened to Exxon?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing happened to them. Nothing at all happened to them. Why would you do something to the person that caused the ecological disaster? Why would you make them pay to clean it up? No. Americans donated money and got up there in huge forces to get up there and clean that up. And to this day, there are still signs of that oil ecological disaster in Alaska. Remember when they used to talk about acid rain?
Mm-hmm.
Does it exist?
I don't know.
Why did they stop talking about it? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
They get to dictate the narrative. I mean, I can look at every time through history. I look at something, I'm like, they're running it out. Someone told them to pull the trigger on this.
Mm.
This is just getting caught in the net. They do it to companies, they do it to individuals, they ruin families, they arrest people for rape, knowing that they were not guilty. They arrest people for murder, like Kamala Harris did, knowing they're not guilty, and make them spend 8 years in prison before they get them out while they cackle and laugh. And most of us are like, well, it's not us. We're not the ones on the receiving end of that. So, man, I'm so glad it's not us. Ooh, it's so bad. Oh, I wonder if he's guilty. Do you think he did it? I don't know. Due process is thrown through the window. They can do whatever they want. I'm getting fined this $1,000 a day, right? $1,000 a day. And I have to pay these ridiculous fees because I won't give up the Antifa kid and I won't give up the person that gave me access to the social post. Now, he's already admitted that the social posts are his, right? So why do they need to talk to that person if they don't want to hurt him?
Hurt him, kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They knew that there was an Antifa call. But if they knew there was an Antifa call and they knew it before they ever did the depositions, then why did they come up with a document that says it wasn't an Antifa call, it was a BLM call, and oh, we have an affidavit from someone that was on it, who happens to be in my notes as the person that was on the call? Right? How'd that happen? There's another journalist that literally is being charged $800 a day for not giving up her source. I think it's an ABC journalist. $800 a day. There are journalistic shield laws in this country that protect people from giving up their sources. Right? I mean, as long as you're not, a crazy person doing crazy things, and you come out and you're sensibly talking about things that are happening, and you have, a lineage of proof that shows this is what's happening, and if you're the source, you have, perfect knowledge of what happened in that environment, you're protected. But they threw that out the window and said, we're not going to let you actually be protected anymore. So why have laws? Why have laws if they only apply when you tell them that they apply? And doesn't that actually just make you a slave?
Hmm.
Our entire system is literally a sham. It's fraudulent. But I'll let you tell me if I'm wrong.
It could be. This could be categorized as a I guess like a logical cop out or a rational cop out, but I do think inherently that it's the world is fallen. It's lay not your treasures where DOS doth corrupt. I think even the richest people, you'd still die. I think that I don't think it can be saved. And I don't mean that in like a black pilling negative way. I mean that even when things are going great, even when everything's great, it still falls apart. That is the consistency. That is the enthalpy and the entropy. It goes to zero. It goes to the heat death. It doesn't mean to not try to make it better, but I don't. I've the longer you hold on to the idea that it can be saved and become perfect, the more pain you will endure. It
Right.
doesn't mean again. It doesn't mean it's all no. That's not what it means at all. Waking up and going, I'm so tired. I just put on the workout playlist and I'm going to get jacked up and I'm going to want to do it. The longer you wait for you wanting to do it, the more you're in pain versus you finally just go, oh, it sucks. Let's just go do some bench presses. I know we got to just fuck it. Let's just go. Just, it sucks. And you're doing the push ups and you're going, it's not getting easier. And you go, yeah, I know it's not getting easier, but I have this many to do. And I'm 30% through. And 5 minutes later, you're going, I'm going to fucking puke. But you go, I'm 60% through. And you just go through it versus if you try to wait around and go, it's going to get better. I think it's going to get, no, it doesn't. It doesn't get better. But once you accept that it's just all fuck, the workout sucks. I'm tired. There's nothing left to hold on to. And when you're trying to hold on to it, that is the pain. You ever taken a shower as the hot water starts to run out? You ever been in a really long shower and it starts to get, so you turn it up a little more and it gets hot again and it starts getting cold? You're racing against the dying light. There's no winning. Finally, you go, I think the hot water is just running out. You go, fuck it. All right. You get out and brush yourself off and it's cold. Okay. You put on a sweatshirt and you get warm again. I'm not copping out from what do we, because we live in this world. We were here for a reason. But I think in terms of just the ultimate, 100,000 foot meta view, I I don't have any illusion that it's ever meant to be running like a Swiss watch. I think it can be less worse, but I think it's inherently it's an organic thing. It's an apple rotting in the sun. It goes away. And I guess
Yes.
that influences me more that, well, why does it go away? I don't think it's an accident. I don't think God made a shitty system. Hey, God, this thing's supposed to last forever, you know? Trying to build a building out of wet sand, it's falling down. No, I would imagine if it's an all-knowing, all-intelligent, omniscient God, did he fuck it up? Or maybe am I not understanding its purpose? If Tom Brady tells me how to throw a football and I go, I don't know if that's right. Who's what are the chances that he's wrong or that maybe I don't understand what the GOAT is telling me? Michael Jordan teaches you to do a jump shot. That's weird, Michael. Or do you go, hey, maybe he knows a couple moves I don't? It is exactly what it's supposed to be. I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate through it. I don't have an answer. Maybe it's we navigate through it and we reach the promised land. It might be that I'm hung for my podcast in 10 years under a communist dictatorship, and that's it. Well, then that was the purpose. I really do believe that. And you could say it's fatalism and determinism and it's intellectually lazy. You're allowed to say that. I don't think it is because that is at the very core. That is what I feel with every fiber in my being is that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Things are happening exactly as they're supposed to. I was always supposed to lose my brother. I was always supposed to start a podcast. I was always supposed to fucking get banned from YouTube. I'm
Bro,
walking through the course.
it's it's uh it's really hard to
It's hard.
excuse me.
It's hard as
It's
shit.
really difficult. It's really difficult to see what's happening right now and not be
Disillusioned, angry,
or, yeah,
feeling like you're abandoned. Hey,
or
God,
yeah,
what is this shit?
but
Yeah.
it's easy to fix, Tommy. It's easy to fix. I'm going to tell your listeners right now it's easy to fix. Lay down your sword against from your brother and say, "Look, how are we going to work this problem?" And you literally walk door to door. How are we going to work this problem? Here's our ethos. What they do to one of us, they do to all of us. We've identified what the issue is. It is absolutely the judiciary. They need to all go. And then you just go and you make sure you demand they go. And you're like, I got to go to work. And I would tell you, well, just wait a couple months. You won't have any work. You won't have anything because you were afraid. And then you're going to be more fearful and broke and destitute and embarrassed. So just do what they want you to do. I mean, it's obvious, right? It's completely obvious. I mean, these are all good people, right? Aren't they? That's my problem is that we really haven't gotten to the point where
I
we're
understand.
willing. What's that?
So I understand. I understand what your frustration is.
Yeah. If we stand together, we literally will win quickly. And when I mean quickly, I mean massively quickly. Quickly. Like not it just happened, it's going to happen. No, it'll literally happen that fast. Not difficult.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
Agreed. What
All
are you
right.
looking up?
I'm looking up the stuff that's happening right now in Israel. It's pretty bad. I mean, there are ground troops in somebody just sent it to me. The ground troops in Lebanon right now.
Yeah,
How is Lebanon Iran?
that's what I mean. It's all fucked. It's the rotting apple.
What's that?
It says the rotting apple. It's
Yeah,
all fucked.
doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
It doesn't, but for whatever reason, we were put here for now. Why did you put me in at the bottom of the ninth inning? You're the one God wanted to put in. Fuck, this sucks. Yeah, it does.
Such a big way too.
Yeah, it's awful.
But we can win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, how long do you go for, by the way? You went for
An hour. We've been going for about an hour and a half.
oh, well, that was fun.
Yeah. Right. Me and Joe, we only bring the rainbows and sunshine, all right? And I don't want to hear anyone say the opposite, all right? This was a cheery session. Everyone smile. Take the Botox injection and smile. You are now going to do the impossible, and you're going to lead us in prayer to close this out.
I can do that.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Love to do that. All right. I'll tell everybody this. There's a couple Bible verses that I have it for the honor bound coins. And I carry them around in my pocket. I literally just handed one out right now and it has this cross on it. So I say, show you this. It says a cross on it. This is a cross pin that we have. But the cross says, um, pray, stand, speak, and act. Pray first so that you never become the very thing that you're fighting against as you enter battle. Stand up. Make sure you always, if you have something to say, you're always standing. Show respect for those around you and for yourself. Speak. Always speak truth and act. So there's a Bible verse associated with every one of those. And the Bible verses, and then there's the Gideon 300, which is Judges 7. But when I talk about these Bible verses, they actually mean something to me. And I think that when people read the Bible, they read it from the standpoint of be meek and it's okay. And we have these apathetic pastors that frankly are just semi-retarded, right? They just are. And by the way, I'm struggling with that Christian church versus Catholic church and whether or not I need to get back to tradition, whether or not I need to, you know, convert to Catholicism just because it's tradition, right? It's got a they're not following it. I mean, the Pope is awful, but anyway, so I struggle with that because the Christian church is so diabolically diabolical. But one of the verses when we look at it from we look at it from the prayer side is that there are certain things that we should do when we pray, right? We should thank the Lord for the blessings that we have because we seem to walk past them. We should then ask for things that we want the Lord to do for us and then have some bold prayers, right? And just keep asking for those bold prayers. And so when I look at these scriptures and when I put these on these coins, and so I hand them out to people, I'll pick which coin I hand to someone. So I'll put 4 in my pocket, and by the end of the day, my pocket's empty. And I've handed them out to someone that I think needs it. So I want to say this. Ephesians 6:10 is pray. And what it says is put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. So when you say that you're going to pray, it's got to mean something. I'm not trying to lecture anyone. I mean, obviously, I just lectured everybody for the last hour about what's happening in the country. And, and I don't think anybody could fact check anything that I said as being untrue. So when we talk about prayer, we want to pray first. When we talk about standing, the standing is much more powerful, right? So prayer is so powerful because it leads you down a path where you're following God's path, not your own, right? And in standing, the power behind this is sacrifice. When you stand up, you should be willing to sacrifice your life. And 1 John 3:16, which is the other 3:16, by this we know love, because he laid down his life for us, so that we ought to lay down our life for the brethren. In other words, Jesus died for us, and so we should be willing to give up our life for our brothers and sisters. That's the ultimate, Beaches of Normandy, good guy deal. And the next one is speak. And obviously, what's my favorite Bible verse? Tommy, you remember what my favorite Bible verse is?
No.
Galatians 4:16. Am I the enemy because I tell you the truth?
Mm.
And the idea is just speak truth. Always speak truth. And then when we start talking about acting, as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. In other words, you got to do work. You got to put the work in.
Yeah.
Got to be willing to not go hide in your basement, a little hidey hole. And then, of course, when we talk about Judges 7 and the Gideon 300, it's much more palatable, because what you're basically saying is that I'm going to stand shoulder to shoulder with my brothers and sisters. So now let's pray. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Father God, thank you. And forgive me. Forgive me for the harsh words that I should have left out. Forgive me for the frustration that I feel. Forgive me for being a terrible example as I'm sitting here on this podcast and being authentically just raw to the place where I may just help an evil spirit leak into the lives of someone that you love. Father, please forgive me. Father, we are so grateful for the things that you've put in our lives, the people you've put in our lives, the opportunities you put in our lives, experiences, and good and bad. We're just very grateful, Father, for the opportunity to be born in this country, and that there could be so many other things that could happen to us, and we could be born in a different country where basic freedoms, just the ability to even breathe and walk, could be hindered. But we see, Father, that things are hindered here and that there is no freedom. So, Father, I just ask you to give us the strength that we may have patience to walk together, but we may set aside the idea that we have to be in a place of decorum. We can set aside the ability for them to manipulate us and get to a place of absolute truth where we are chasing what you want us to do. Father, give us the strength to fight. Give us the wisdom to know when to fight, how to stand with our brothers and sisters, setting aside petty differences, but recognizing those that are not good for nor true in their intentions. Father, I ask you to bless those people that are listening, that they may be drawn to the idea that we may get rid of the people that are causing all the pain for us as a country and as a world. Help us, Father, that we may have absolute courage. We may operate in that courage, and we may destroy the evil that is trying to consume our society. Father, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with Tommy today. I ask you to put a special blessing over him and his family. Bless him with the ability to have infinite knowledge and wisdom and patience that he may be able to use to not only drive to redemption and to winning, but to be able to drive his family and himself to a place where they can have absolute peace, even in the chaos. I ask these things, Father, humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you, sir. That was beautiful. It's
Absolutely.
not supposed to be easy. It's not going to
No,
be easy.
absolutely isn't.
And we will be, Joe and I will be back here to deliver more good news in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Of course. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Joe, I love you, brother. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
your
Love you
time.
too.
God
All
loves
right.
you
Take
all,
care.
everybody. Let God into your heart. He will give you peace. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
God bless everybody.